we got Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. This is one of those fights. First of all, it's a rematch. They fought earlier in Invicta. Erin Blanchfield was 19. Absolutely crazy. It was a competitive fight, split decision. So her going to a split at 19, very impressive. Just goes to show she's a real talent. But anyway, we could see this is one of those fights. I think using the MMA math is actually relevant in this type of a fight because both these girls are both grapplers. We can see they fought the same opponent around the same time, and the outcomes were extremely different. We saw them both fight over 5 rounds against the same opponent in a very similar stylistic matchup, and their levels of skill were just nowhere remotely close. They were nowhere near the same. We saw when Erin fought Rose Namajunas, we could see she racked up 9 minutes of control time. Yes, she only got 2 out of 8 takedowns, but she dominated. If you look at the terms of the percentages, she's winning 99% of the control time on the ground. So it goes to show she was cooking. And you even look at the numbers, she technically outstruck Rose Namajunas in terms of significant strikes. Pretty crazy stuff. And then you look at the numbers for Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. Rose dominated Tracy in the grappling. You can see she went 5 for 5 on takedowns against Tracy Cortez. She landed 6 minutes and 36 seconds of control time, nearly 7 times the amount, or 6, whatever times the amount that Tracy Cortez landed. This was the fight that Tracy Cortez got her eyelash knocked off. It was pretty funny. But it just goes to show this is the type of MMA math that actually works. Like, this actually works because you look at the stylistic matchup between the two of them. They fought the same opponent with the same game plan, except one was very successful, the other wasn't. That's not the only thing you're looking at here, but it just goes to show it is an important factor to consider here as well. And beyond the significant striking too, because significant striking can include strikes from any point of the fight, in terms of the ground, the clinch, from range, whatever. You can see at distance striking, Erin Blanchfield still technically outstruck Rose Namajunas. You can see Rose Namajunas technically nearly doubled up Tracy Cortez on the significant striking. And you look at their striking, like if you watch those fights back, it doesn't even look like it. You look at Tracy Cortez's striking in recent years, and you can say, oh, like her striking's actually looks probably better than Erin Blanchfield's. Erin Blanchfield's striking doesn't look all that good, but it's just on the numbers. Like, if you watch these fights back, the numbers didn't really make sense, but in terms of how they're judging it, this is technically how the numbers are. It just goes to show the level of performances between these two girls very, very differently. And these were similar, like these fights both happened around the same time too. So I think it's a very comparable matchup between these two. I think it's going to come down to who's the better grappler. Erin Blanchfield was extremely competitive with Tracy Cortez when she was 19 years old. And that's a different time of age too. That type of a gap. Erin Blanchfield at 19, she hasn't had the experience. Tracy Cortez had an extra 6 years of experience, and she's going back and forth with Erin Blanchfield. Now they're both physically in their primes. They're both physically full size. They're fully developed. Now this is going to be a lot more competitive. And if there was so much success for Erin Blanchfield, she made it that competitive at 19 where she really wasn't mentally fully mature and she wasn't as physically strong and she didn't have the skill set that she has now. Now the age gap's not going to make that big of a difference. Now it's going to be a lot more even of a fight. I think Erin Blanchfield wins this fight pretty clearly. This line is completely off. I placed a bet on Erin Blanchfield today and this line's way wider than minus 165. This line's gotten completely blown out. I'm pissed I didn't get on it earlier. I think Erin Blanchfield at minus 165 would have been like a hammer of a bet. But I really do think Erin Blanchfield has every way to win this fight. Except, if she just stands and strikes for 15 minutes, yeah, that would be stupid. And it'll look like a pick'em. However, on the grappling, in terms of who can out-grapple the other girl, Erin Blanchfield should be a step ahead of Tracy Cortez. And I think that's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. I don't think she's necessarily going to submit Tracy Cortez, but I think on the ground she should be a step ahead. I like Erin Blanchfield quite a bit. We've seen her level of competition too. She's only looked bad against Manny Ferro, a girl who's basically impossible to take down. Yeah, that makes sense why she's not looking great there. But we saw against Tracy Cortez when she went against Rose Namajunas. Rose Namajunas was throwing her around and controlling her like a ragdoll on the ground. So we saw what Erin Blanchfield did to Rose on the ground too. So this MMA math, it applies because of the similar stylistic matchup, in my opinion at least. So I like Erin Blanchfield in this quite a bit.